2% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. True choices fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights when homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pie Rules, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever clique you choose, you better stick to the... Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a pro violation. Yard down. Now, for those that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Now, let's hop right up into this video, man. Now, unfortunately, this video right here is right up in my wheelhouse, man. You will very rarely hear me take this path on a video, right? But it is what it is, right? This video is not for the squares, right? And when I say the squares, I mean the people who was not really in the streets, and I also mean some of you dudes who was in the streets in the way, not really in the streets. You may have been in the streets, you was acting and portraying and had a costume on, but you wasn't really in the streets, right? Because it is what it is, man. I know the majority of you guys have heard about, you know, the situation going on with Little Dirk being charged for murder for hire by the feds. And I'm gonna keep it real, man. Having the feds file a murder for hire case on you that potentially carries the death penalty is like an AIDS infected vagina. Something you don't want to fuck with. But that's where we are with this situation, right? So for those of you guys not familiar with Little Dirk is a rapper out of Chicago. He was extremely close with the rapper King Von. They was extremely close friends. They had actually even been on a case together where they had an attempted murder case for shooting an individual in Atlanta. It was alleged, and taking $30,000 from him, so on and so forth, right? But they was extremely good friends, right? Now, for those of you guys not familiar with the Chicago gang culture, it's vicious, right? It is reported that King Von, if we're going to believe the things that was said about him, was a brutal gang member, and by all accounts, he was a serial killer. You know, it's rumored that he had 9 to 10 bodies. We'll get into, unfortunately, how he met his demise a little later. So once again, you know, King Von is in jail fighting a murder case. He gets out. His friend Little Dirk is already a well-known rapper, and so Little Dirk either convinces him to start rapping or helps him start rapping, and King Von blows up, and eventually, though, he's killed in a shooting in Atlanta, right? So, you know, while King Von was locked up, one of his good friends got killed. One of his good friends got killed by the name of T-Roy. He was extremely hurt, and basically it said that he created what is known as the Get Back Gang. Basically, man, when something happened to one of our homies, we ride and we get back for him. Actually, get back or putting in work when a person from your hood that's got killed has been a big staple, of the gang culture, you know, out here in California as well. You know, retaliation was expected immediately, but retaliation or get back is something that the Chicago gang members really hang their hat on, right? And they are serious about that, right? And so you'll have some who will say that Little Dirk was a crash out dummy. He was a rapper who was worth about $8 million, had a lot of things going on, and now he's caught up in this situation. So like I was saying, King Von, Little Dirk, real good friends, and they happened to get into it or excuse me, King Von happened to get into it at a nightclub with another rapper from Georgia named Quando Rondo. They get into it. They had previously had beef. They get into it. King Von sees him at a club. He jump out, go to putting the mitts on him. Boop, pop, boop, pop, boop, pop. He go to busting him up. And one of Quando Rondo's homies jump out the car, Little Tim, and shoots King Von and kills King Von. Now, what is kind of just, you know, a trip about this whole situation is, at one point in time, and I may insert the video if I have enough time, Quando Rondo and King Von, like I said, King Von hopped out and started punching on Quando Rondo. At one point in time, they was friends. You know, they was acquaintances, friends. You know, there's a video of them hanging out. And actually, in this particular video, Quando Rondo, who is from Georgia, and he claims rolling 60s in Georgia, was dissing some of King Von's ops from Chicago, which to me, I felt like that was an extremely immature move and the move of a follower, right? If I'm hanging with somebody and this dude has got ops, we're in entirely different states. I'm not just to be dissing his ops and none of that old stuff like that, right?
Fuck that, come on, right now, tee up. 63rd. That's how we coming, I'm coming up.
You know, we on 64. We
got most of this bitch.
Hey, we on 64 with this shit.
I don't get your man, your teeth shining like a motherfucker on this bitch. Hold on, get your teeth in that bitch. Damn!
Y'all niggas steal some shit from a nigga. Y'all 64. Y'all stealing ass niggas. Y'all niggas steal some shit. I'm saying though, they got 63rd niggas, some dirty ass niggas, man. Y'all niggas talking about, man. I'm talking about, hey, listen though, man, the nigga on 64, but y'all 63rd niggas over there smoking crack and shit.
But so now Quando Rondo happened to be signed to NBA Youngboy. So at some point in time, NBA Youngboy and King Von fell out. And it is said that's how the beef started between Quando Rondo and King Von. Now you have a lot of people who will rumor that it was about a woman. And it's all sorts of rumors of how actually Quando Rondo and King Von fell out. But at some point in time, they did fall out. Like I said, King Von sees Quando Rondo. He jumps out, starts putting the lefts and rights on him, and he gets shot by one of Quando Rondo's friends, and he dies, right? So, fast forward to later on. Quando Rondo is in Los Angeles. Him and a cousin is riding around. They go to get some gas. Some people hop out the car. They start shooting. They kill Quando Rondo's cousin, who was in the car. Quando Rondo doesn't get hit, but his cousin who was in the car with him, he gets hit, he dies. Now, what is alleged by the FBI is that the murder of Quando Rondo's friend and cousin in Los Angeles and the attempted murder of Quando Rondo was actually a hit for hire paid for by Little Dirk. It's a mountain of evidence on Little Dirk. You guys can watch. I'm sure it's a bunch of YouTube videos out there where they're reading his indictments and talking about things that he's being charged with. They got credit cards from dudes who bought tickets from Chicago to come out here and do this hit. They got all that information. They got dudes, the information of dudes then renting a private plane to go back from LA to Chicago. It's a lot of things. And they also have where they're alleging someone has wore a wire and talked to a Little Dirk about certain stuff. So to keep it real, man, it seems like Little Dirk is over with. It seems like he's done. He's out of here. Y'all stuvo, whatever you want to say, man. It really seems like Little Dirk is through with bread, man. He's done with money, like we used to say back in my days, man. So of course, you know, you're gonna have a lot of dudes, man, a lot of squares saying, you know, Little Dirk, he crashed out, man. Crash out dummy. Dude had all this bread. He crashed out. And, you know, some people may view it like that, right? And like I say, this is times where, you know, very few times you will see me go down a road like this, right, in a video that I'm making. But to be honest, man, it comes with the game. It comes with the territory. You know, some people may call Little Dirk a crash out dummy. You know, you will have a few real gang members that say, hey, man, you know, he got some get back for his homie.
He put work in and he rolled. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was up against. You know what I'm saying? And he still took that chance. Now, had King Von not been killed in Atlanta, it is believed that he very well would have been in prison as well on a life sentence due to the murder of another Chicago rapper by the name of FBG Duck. FBG Duck was gunned down by some dudes who was from the same neighborhood King Von was, known as O Block. It is said that the O Block hit was paid for by King Von due to a lot of dissing going back and forth between where FBG Duck was from and from where King Von was from. You know, a lot of disrespectful songs, and their areas, their neighborhoods had been beefing with each other for quite some time, right? So it is said that King Von paid those shooters to put that work in on FBG Duck, and they was recently convicted maybe about 6-7 months ago. You know, 4 or 5 of those dudes was convicted in federal court, and so they all are serving lengthy sentences at this point right now, right? And so I say all that to say, had Little Dirk been killed, we can assume that King Von would have done the same for Little Dirk in terms of getting some get back, the same way that it is alleged that Little Dirk got some get back for King Von. And so, you know, unfortunately, man, it comes with the territory. You know, when you're out there, you thugging, you really in the streets, you know, and you dedicate loyal to your homie, you know, that's what's going on, man. That's what's going on a lot of times in these situations, right? And of course, you know, we're going to look at it. We're going to say it wasn't worth it because Little Dirk had so much seemingly. You know, all he had to do was continue making music, not spending his money unwisely, and he would never have to work again. You know, he was living a life that very few in America actually get to live, you know. But yet and all, he risked it all for a good friend of his, obviously, who lost his life. And once again, like I said, man, retaliation, getting some get back for your homie, that's the culture. That's the gang culture. And it's something that is really prevalent in Chicago, right? And so you know, like I say, there's different ways of looking at things, man. In my opinion, yeah, Little Dirk probably ain't no problems. In my opinion, Little Dirk will never be free again. If I had to bet, that's where I'm putting my money on, man, that he'll never be free again. You know, when the FBI come for you, especially on a murder for hire case, they gonna come right. Now, this murder that they're charging him with, it happened a while ago. I don't remember exactly how long, but I at least want to say it at least probably happened 6, 7, 8 months ago, maybe a little longer than that, right? But so in situations like that, sometimes those are the worst cases, right? Where you will have a criminal or a gang member or whoever do something and he's able to get away from the scene, leave the scene and not get arrested for a week or 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know, as time goes by, criminals tend to think that they have got away with that sort of thing, right? But like I keep stressing, man, in this day and age, it is so much technology that is against a criminal getting away with an impromptu crime. It's almost idiotic to even commit a crime like that. You know, they got cameras everywhere, right? They got cameras everywhere, license plate readers. You know, it's just so much going on. Cell phones, it just makes it so hard. You know, cell phone trackers and towers and stuff. It makes it so hard for an individual to commit a crime and get away with it. Then on top of that, right, of course, they have credit card information, what is alleged by the FBI, leading back to the company OTF that is ran by Little Dirk. It's alleged that they have Little Dirk telling somebody, don't use any credit cards that can be connected back to me, right? So it seems like Little Dirk wasn't thinking at all, you know. No question in my mind. No question in my mind that Little Dirk watched or at least somewhat paid attention to the murder trial of FBG Duck. You know, Little Dirk and FBG Duck, of course, was from opposite sides, dissed each other several times. Even after FBG Duck's death, I heard songs where Little Dirk, excuse me, was disrespecting FBG Duck after he was dead. So, it's no question in my mind that Little Dirk, to a certain degree at least, had to pay attention or hear information regarding and relating to the murder case of those who was charged in the killing of FBG Duck. FBG Duck was killed downtown in Chicago in a very exclusive shopping area, somewhat equivalent to Beverly Hills out here. So he was gunned down in broad day by 4 or 5 shooters. And so there's no question in my mind Little Dirk paid attention to that to at least a certain degree, but obviously not enough because he pretty much gets caught up in the same situation. So, of course, for the person out there, for the square eye, he's going to look up and say, oh man, Little Dirk was dumb as hell to go out like that and get caught up in a situation like that. But like I say, once again, man, was he a crash dummy, or did he have an extremely amount of loyalty to his homie? A homie who I'm sure he felt that he had got killed and King Von was in a position to get some get back, he would have tried the same thing. So, I mean, sometimes, man, this street life ain't to be understood by those who are not in the street, We looking at it from the outside looking in, Of course, so, and I believe that eventually a lot of that money that Little Dirk made will be confiscated by the FBI because they'll allege that he was using it to run a criminal enterprise, right? Paying for hits, having dudes do this and do that. And, a lot of things also in Chicago, I'm sure, we'll all remain, we'll wait to see what all comes out, right? It remains to be seen exactly what all will come out, but it's not looking good at all for Little Dirk. So, of course, I believe Little Dirk is going to lose all this money, all that stuff. But keep in mind, his homeboy, King Von, good friend of his, lost his life. He'll never be able to get his life back, right? If say let's just say that Little Dirk is somehow able to beat this case, he has to pay all these lawyers and this and that, and when he gets out, he has maybe about $1,000 left in the bank. He can at least try to rebuild. King Von will never be able to come back from the dead, right? And so I'm just talking about for those who are really invested in these gang beliefs, right? It may be worth it to him. Who's to say how Little Dirk feels? I can take an assumption of how he'll feel in 10 to 15, 20 years, But like I say, once again, man, for those of us who invest and believe in certain type of gang belief systems, riding for your homie is extremely important, right? We always can look back on a situation because hindsight is 20/20. We always can look back on a situation and say a dude shouldn't have done this, a dude shouldn't have done that. But once again, he made a choice. He committed to it. I don't know exactly how long, but Little Dirk's father is in federal prison and has been there for quite some time. I don't know if he has life or not. I believe he does have life, but he has been in prison for quite some time. So Little Dirk was well aware of the circumstances that he was facing, the situation that he would potentially put himself in by, if it is true what the feds are alleging, by get back for his homeboy King Von. So once again, is Little Dirk a crash out dummy or is he just a loyal homie? Anyway, we'll let all y'all decide. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.